Alright, for this video what we're going to do is we're going to build a nice little raised rim all the way around for like a name tag. And then over here we're going to build a nice little raised plateau all the way around. So, we take a look at that design. This one doesn't have to be, you can just kind of get it spotted in place. You can use the axis for the whole location here, the axis for the whole location here. And then here you can kind of just build an arch across, and then build another arch across. If you want to keep them perfectly in a line, I'll show you how to do that. So, first thing we want to do is we want to grab the top plane. We do not want this plane down below. Okay, it's got to be up above the surface you're trying to raise. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to draw a sketch into place. So, right here we start with a sketch. And then we normalize. If it does a flip like this, let me show you how you reorientate that. You need to pick for flip on it, and it'll flip it over to the other side. If you want it to be rotated again, you can. You can go from top to bottom, and then it'll flip to the bottom like that. Then you hit sketch. Now, on this, we're trying to do what? We're trying to build that raised surface, and we're orientated correctly. So, first thing we want is reference, and I'm going to pull that axis, and then this one's the crisscross, so I don't need it. And now I'm going to start to build that profile that I see down in there. So, here would be my first little area of raise, so I'm going to let it pop there. That's cool. And then this one is going to be small. Yeah, it's kind of small and close. And then now I want an arch of this one. So if I touch it right there, it gives me the center point. So then I can pull to the center point, and then I can run in and give it a good location. So that one looks good right there. And then the next one I want is maybe this edge right here. If I pop that edge, it's going to be hard to get out there and grab it, but there it is on the design. So let's say that one's the design. Is it perfectly rounded? No. So right about there. And then same scenario. When I'm doing this, if I used arcs, that's why I'm getting center points. If I used 3 points, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get these to pop a reference. They won't pop a reference like this. So be careful whenever you're doing your design. This one right here, somewhat on the inside. So crisscross there. Now there's no rules on how big these have to be. I just want you guys to get them somewhat close by eye. Then delete, and now watch the delete. I'm going to have to trim like crazy. So trim here, trim here, trim here. Now I got to trim these little dog legs. So I'm just scribbling. And then trim here, trim here, trim here, here, and try to get this outside stuff, because when it's sitting out there it can be a pain in the butt. You don't even know it's out there. So I got all the outside done. Now I'm going to start working in. Right here I'm going to start to work in on the edge. Here, start to work in on this edge. Start scribbling over here. Get all of these triangles out. And then right there, it looks like it comes down to a point, so it looks good. And this is to a point. If I'm at the point where I don't know if there's anything left, I touch the arrow. When it touches the arrow, it shades it in. If there was something left, like that, watch what happens. When I hit it, there's a red mark that pops up. So it's telling me, get this out of there. So hit it and delete. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to build some nice big fillets. So big fillets. I'm going to go from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, and then from here to here in location. Now, once I've got those, I'm going to go for equals all the way around. So I'm going to touch one and then continue just touching all the way around. And that'll give me equal all the way around on those fillets. I don't really care about the dimensions, so we're pretty much done with the work. You don't have to be exact on this. This is more of really cool work. Now, once we touch this right here, now we've got the profile. We have to touch the surface that we to do the profile on. So we touch here. Once we've got the touch, then we can hit offset. Next thing we must do is switch over to taper. So we switch to the taper mode right here. We want to move this thing to, let's say, 20 degrees. And then we select inside this box and grab the sketch. When we do that, we're going to see our tapered surface come up. If you do not, a lot of times it's because your sketch is corrupted. Now we only want it to raise up by, let's say, 40 thou, and at 20 degrees. And then hit check, and you'll see that raised surface. Next thing I usually put in here after this is a nice round. So I'm going to put in 2 baby rounds. One there, that's huge. So let's go with 30 thou and hit check. Now I'm going to cap it off with the top round all the way around. That 130, if I do that, I'm going to lose my little fillet area. And then I'm going to have to dance all the way. So just remember that when that happens. Now we do that same scenario over here to finish off the part. So we're going to come in and we're going to build for a name tag. This is going to be kind of quick sketching, but should get it done for the design. So let's grab here. We're going to do the same scenario again, but we've got to make sure we build the sketch first. Normalize. Now if it's flipping up like that again, we can come in here and we can go to bottom and then flip. Once we've got that, now we'll build for the name tag location on the design. I want to use a rectangle. And that's the outer location of the thing. I'm going to hit escape once and I'm going to stretch it, put it kind of centered. So that to me looks good for the design. So now I'm going to run fillets. Instead of running fillets with the corner points, I'm going to show you how to do just circular trims. Circular trims, you just pick 1, 2, keep them kind of big, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to say equal. So we pick equal all the way around on the design. And now we're going to go with an offset. So we're going to pick offset right here. And then on that offset, we want to pick a chain. Here's how the chain works. We pick the first unit, then the second unit. It's going to say, you want that? No, we want the next. That one's the whole piece. That is accepted. So we accept it. It's going to tell us the negative, so we want to go the opposite direction, and we want to do about 100 thou, 150 thou, so I'm going to go for a negative 0.15. And now I've got that profile for the raised surface. I'm going to say closed, say OK. Once you have that, it's got to be above the surface, be careful, and then I've got to touch this, say offset. Move it to tapered, select the sketch, and there's our little raised surface on there. Way too high, so right there I want it maybe down at, let's go for, yeah, let's just go for 30. I want it to be nice and calm, so see how it looks. And then on the degrees, let's move into 30 degrees also. So there's the nice little plateau that it builds for the design. I want to go actually 50 on that. Let's see if 50 will work. Why? Because it was kind of sharp over here, but over here it was calm. So we wanted both on that design. So now it looks pretty good. There's the nice little raised surface. And then we're going to go with round. Here we're going to round on the outside, the inside. And then we're going to round on the rim of the part. The top rim of the part. And I'm going to go with 30 thou on all of those. So there we finish up the part. The only thing we have left is a nice little chamfer. Put in about a 30 thou chamfer on all of these holes. So keep control down and select all those holes. Hit save and you're finished with your first model for the design. Now what I want you guys to do is turn in this model. So I need to see the model, and then the next item I need to see is also the image. So let's work on the image. Let's go to the applications and rendering of the object. So going for rendering, off of the rendering, you can see the image start to pop up here. And then off of that, we can build for the appearance. I want to move from metals to paint. Select under paint, go to metallic. And my favorite one right now is probably black. So when we touch black, you're going to see nothing happen. So what you have to do is touch the top name of your part. All of it will be selected. Then say OK. And now you have the color for your design. If you want to, you can flip around so you can see the floor and see a nice little reflection on it. And then once you've got this into location where you think it's marketable on your design, then you can say render. But first, before you do render, let's go with the rendering of the design. We'll take it to max and then change the name right here to what the name of the part is. So P dash, your initials, dash 0126 dash 20 dash 01 dash 01 dash 1 for the first image that I'm trying. Then say render, and what you'll see is it does a couple of passes through. When the image is finished, it will drop the image in your setup directory. So go ahead and go look in that image zone for that design. So at this time, that's good. You're done. If you want to, you can do raised initial surfaces. So you can do your raised initials if you want, or some logo for your company. So make up something like your last name and make it a logo for your company and just do a raised surface that way also.